Okay, this is Stingray Island. This is in Grand Cayman. It's a place that we could go, and the stingrays would just swimming around on the sandbar. The water was beautiful green. The stingrays were about 3 feet wide. Their stingers were soft and pliable. They weren't like dangerous stingrays. They were really soft. They would just swim right by you and rub against your leg. They would pick them up and let us hold them, and they were holding some themselves. As you can see, they're really big, and here that one just came and rubbed against my leg. The water was about 4 feet deep, about waist to chest high, depending on if a wave was coming in or not. It was like 75, 80 degrees. It was like bath water warm. And these little guys were just swimming around. There's hundreds of people, but they were still just swimming around all over the place. There was a little area farther out that people could like go and get some conch shells on the bottom of the ocean floor. Now look at, here's a stingray. See how soft he is, and he's just moves his little flippers around. Just people all over the place, and there he is. People were just coming up and petting him. The guys that took us out there kind of had Jamaican accents, but they were from the Grand Cayman. There's people looking underwater at them. There's one just went on by me. There's one of the boats that came in. There's Mike getting ready to look under the water. There were little kids in the boats, and they were afraid to come out. Look at all those little black spots. Those are the stingrays. Everybody's scuba diving, look underneath it to see what, or snorkeling, looking under to see them. And then look at all the boats that are out here and the stingrays around them. But they really like that. The people feed them squid when they come out, so whenever they see the boats, they know it's time for a treat. So they come right up to you when you're out there. Here comes one. Oh, turned away. Here's one. After this video was over, I got to go up and hold one, and then they actually put it on my back. They said, "Here, have a back rub," and he just kind of laid on my back and moved his fins beside on each of my sides. Look at how beautiful that water is. People had these little yellow life vests around with them, but I'm not really sure why. It was no way you could drown in this beautiful shallow water. There's Mike. Hi, Mike. All the people looking around at the stingrays. They told us not to run away from them because they would just come chasing after us because they knew that we were fun. So we should just sit still and just scream if we had to. There's one came real close to me. Now I'm standing in the water, about waist deep. There's Mike. And here comes another one. This was the coolest part, I think, of the whole trip. Here comes one right up next to him. Whoa. Oh, he jumped up. I think that kind of freaked him out a little bit. It was kind of neat. When they swam by, they were like just out of your hand's reach if you were snorkeling into the water. Like you'd reach out as far as you could to touch them, and they were just out of your reach. A couple times I reached too hard, and I got a mouthful of seawater because the snorkel went underneath the water. It was so bright out that day, I really couldn't see the lens to see what I was filming. It was kind of all a guess. So the video's not that great. Look at how beautiful clear that water is. There's a stingray. There's a little fish in there too somewhere. It's harder to see. It was pretty big size, but it was just floating with the stingrays. It's really windy out here. That's why I chose to narrate over the top of this. You wouldn't have been able to hear anything but wind. Okay, I'm going to be walking back to the boat. There's the fish, that little black dot. I'm going to be walking back to the boat, and on my way I'm going to stop and see a stingray that they have out of water, and I actually get to touch it. So turn around, face the right direction. These are some birds that were just flying above us. I didn't get them all in the shot because I couldn't see. Look at how beautiful blue that water is, or the sky is. It was such a beautiful day. Definitely is paradise. Okay, which boat is mine? Oh, here's one. Watch my hand come up. There. You kind of scratch their bellies, and they like that, and then they hold them up, and they ask this guy if he wanted to give them a kiss, and I swear that their little things pucker their lips. He said, no, it's a boy, and I don't kiss boys. So the guy holding him said, no, it's a girl.